Oasis Audio presents The Real Hergé by Sian Lye, read for you by Simon Vance. Introduction. Herge, otherwise known as Georges Prosper Rémy, is one of the best-loved authors in history, yet also one of the most controversial. He created only 24 Tintin books, but The Adventures of Tintin have sold more than 250 million copies worldwide in an eventful career, have been translated into more than 110 languages, and are considered to be one of the greatest comic series of all time. Now, 37 years after his death, Herge remains an enigma and a phenomenon. He survived a barrage of scandals, including accusations of racism and anti-Semitism. He was also attacked for appearing to collaborate with the Nazis during the Second World War. His personal life was no easier. Although he had a loving mother, she suffered from mental health issues and would end up in a psychiatric hospital. In his later years, he would hint at surviving abuse from a relative, and would also mention the abuse that was rife within his former scouting troop. For decades, critics have attacked Hergé's work for racism and sexism, and indeed his original stories do feature racially offensive caricatures considered wholly unacceptable by today's standards. But Herge was a product of a different time, and reflected the prevailing attitudes of the day. One of his greatest strengths, but also one of his greatest weaknesses, was that he was very easily influenced by a variety of charismatic characters. In many ways, this ability to absorb the opinions and talents of others led to some of his best work, but it also led to him making poor political decisions that would continue to haunt him throughout his life. The criticism he faced greatly affected Herge. Though he would rarely retaliate, he did change aspects of his books to make them more palatable in later years. Indeed, Herge was an exacting artist who expected the best from others as well as himself. He would often revise previous work before it was to be reprinted, amending anything he felt he could improve, but his perfectionism would cause him no end of health issues. Ahead of his time, Herge introduced Europe to the American style of cartoon strip, which incorporated speech bubbles and captured the imagination of millions of children and adults alike. Although he was not a gregarious person, and was reluctant to attend book-signing sessions, he was fiercely loyal to his fans, and would write long personal letters in reply, even going so far as to loan money to some of his fans when asked. Privately, he battled a debilitating depression, and was unhappy with his achievements. Later in life he would say that he hated Tintin, and would have much preferred to have been an artist in the more traditional sense. Herge had numerous affairs and wanted to leave his marriage, but felt riddled with guilt from his Catholic upbringing and Boy Scout ethos. He was unable to have children, and did not want to have a family in any case, as they would have disturbed his work too much. He had a great need for peace and quiet. His friends would say he didn't have the knack for happiness. Always searching for more, Herge was interested in new ideas and new people. He loved jazz music, and by the 1950s his latest passion was pop art and the modern abstract styles. The paranormal always held a fascination for him, and in later life he would rely on the opinion of a clairvoyant. While going through a particularly tumultuous period, he recorded his traumatic dreams and consulted a Jungian psychoanalyst for help. After meeting Zhang Chengren in the 1930s, he carried a lifelong interest in Eastern philosophy, particularly the writings of the Tao. He was a complex and naive man in many ways, haunted by the demons of his past and desperate to escape the work he had been so successful in. His constant need to run away frustrated those who worked with him, and he lacked the courage of the famous hero he created. In many ways he remained a lost little Boy Scout who never really grew up. But his artwork and meticulous plotting were exceptional and paved the way for graphic comics. Herge has left a canon of work that children and adults the world over continue to love. Chapter 1.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?